Hey guys, this is Dopil. I'm here with a review of Torchlight, which is a game by Runic Games. It's more of an arcade game, like what you would find in, say, Pizza Factory, than any other kind of game. It's a really fun beat-em-up, I believe is the genre that they classified it as. It's really unique in how they put it together. You start out, you make a new character, you get a choice of 3 classes, which are gender-locked. There's the Barbarian, which is focused on melee, which is male. The Vanquisher, I'm pretty sure it is, which is a female focused on ranged attacks. And right now I'm playing as the Alchemist, which is a male focused on magic. You get a choice of either a cat or a dog. I have the cat right now. And the pet system in this game is really just mind-blowing. They really changed it up with how most games use their pets. In this game, your pet is a lifelong companion. You get, as I said, a choice of a dog or cat. You can name it, and they level up along with you. You can't put any stat points in. They just get better along with you, but they attack, like you can see them rushing into battle now. You can set them as aggressive, defensive, or passive. And what you can do is load them up with items. Say your inventory gets full, you can load them up with items and keep collecting items. Then you can have him, if you want, go to the town. There's a little button up on the top left corner. That's all your pet's little UI. At the top right of his little health and item bar thing is a little green button that you can push, and he'll take off, and it'll be about a minute, and then he'll come back with money from all the items that were in his inventory. He'll sell, and you can see I'm selling to a vendor right now. He just goes and does it for you, which is really cool. So you never have to leave and go back to town. And another cool thing is that you can just pop up, use a town portal scroll, and you'll teleport straight to town. And then, in the town there'll be a portal to go back exactly where you left. So even if you don't want to send your pet, you can just do that and pop up exactly where you left off, which is really cool. They really took the little struggle out of games like this. As I said, you can there's no appearance customization in Torchlight, which is definitely a con, but you can really customize how you play your character. No matter which class you are, you don't have to stick within the confines of how your class is generically supposed to play. For instance, I am focused on magic on this character. As you can see, I'm throwing these little ice things out, which are a magic spell. When I shoot those green things, those are my wands. I have dual wands, which the magic attribute does affect how those damage enemies. But I have another character that is an alchemist that the only reason I'm not playing him right now is because he's on normal, and I definitely prefer the harder difficulties. He is entirely focused on damage, melee damage. So I've put every single attribute point that I've gotten into strength on him, and he has 2 swords, and I can 2-hit like bosses, but I die really fast. And so he does way more damage than any barbarian that I've ever made. Which is really cool that you can play like that. And if you want, you can make an alchemist, which is a magic character. You can put all your points into defense if you want and be a total tank, which is really cool. You can play however you want on any character. You can see I'm fighting a boss right now by the orange name, which are generally much harder to fight, as bosses generally are. And you can see when I killed him that I gained fame. What's really cool about that is you get different tiers of fame level. I'm not sure which I am right now. I believe I'm recognized, which is fairly in the beginning of the fame tiers. But the more recognized you are by the people of Torchlight, which is the town that is the main town, the only town in the game, the less expensive things are, and the more quests you can get, which is really cool. So if you just rush through things without taking little detours and stuff, you won't find as many bosses, you won't do as many great feats. The people won't recognize you as much, so it really affects how you play. In the town of Torchlight, there's just generic like a blacksmith, a general goods vendor, and a gem vendor, things like that. There's not really much to the town itself. It's all about the dungeons in this game. The town is basically just to get quests, to go kill things, to go find items, and then, of course, to sell your items and restock on supplies. But the way they put the dungeons together in this game is really cool. Every dungeon is different. It's randomly generated every single part of the game, except for a few scripted dungeon events, which are the same, but there's very few of those. Most of it is entirely random, which is really unique. It makes every different character a different playstyle, a different, how things work out. And then there's lots of scripted events in Torchlight, like there's tons of levers and different explosives that you can use. Like in the beginning of the game, there's a lot of rock walls, I guess you'd call them, blocking your path to different areas. But there's usually, if you can find it, a plunger, that's what they're called. It's like a trigger that you click on it and it blows up the rock walls. And then there's chests inside, but usually there's a lot of hard monsters too that you have to fight through to get to the treasure, as is in every fantasy game. The game is just so unique in how they put it together. It's definitely one of my most favorite games. I wouldn't recommend it for like a game that you'd play constantly. It's more of a side game if I'm bored or if I'm just kind of lazy. I'll play this game. It's just really a fun experience every time I play it. As you'll see later, how really extensive the leveling up system is too. You can see I just pulled a lever and it opened that secret passageway, which I'll go in a second after I clear out this bottom floor. But the leveling up is really unique. You get 5 stat points a level and 1 to 2 spell points, which you can put into whatever spells you want, which there are plenty of in this game. And these stat points, there are strength, dexterity, magic, and defense, which is fairly common in most games, but you can put them into whatever you like, no matter what your class is. Totally customizable how you're going to play, like I've said. You can see if I didn't open this room, I would be way less rich than I am, which is really cool. All the chests generally have good items in them, and each item has its own requirements. So let's say you find an insanely good helm, but you don't have enough points in defense, so you can't wear it. So they don't let you be super good compared to other classes if you don't put enough points into those categories. So it's really balanced on how the classes play out. No one class is better than the other. You can see the loading time looks pretty long on here. That's just because my FPS is going really slow, as it is when I record any game with Xfire. But the load times are relatively short. There are quite a few load times though. It's just a minor nuisance of the game. I haven't ever updated Torchlight, but I hear the updates, they provide extra content and definitely a little faster, more streamlined events like loading definitely goes faster. I know if you update. I just haven't gone around to it. You can see I have some minions besides just my cat. That's one of the spells that I unlocked. I can use dead corpses to summon these little imps that fight for me, which is really cool. Later on, I'm pretty sure I get a golem that I can summon anywhere, and he's really good. He can fight for me. And each spell has 10 ranks, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 10 that you can put in. So you can just get the spell, but it won't be as powerful as someone that puts it in all the way. You can see me fishing here. What fish do are you can give them to your pet, and they'll transform into more powerful monsters. That's another part of it where it's just really, really extensive the way they put this game in. Here you can see me leveling up. There's fame and leveling your actual level at the top. Then there's strength, dexterity, magic, defense. These are all the spells. Tons of them for each class. I definitely recommend giving this game a try. I'll post a link in the website. I'll see you guys later, hopefully.